Welcome to Sin City Crypto and the Blockchain Basement, where we're going to talk about some stuff.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Bum, 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 bum. You ready for this? I'm ready. Welcome.
If you're gonna screw me, at least pull my hair.
Hell yeah. What you got?
They could start chopping off fingers. They're like, give me your seed phrase, but I don't know it.
Out to give the numbers out. And I was like, no, hang up the phone right now.
Or like when it dropped in 2020, was it like exciting?
400,000 to 600,000. The generational signals are now.
Level. So I don't even know if we're gonna get back below there. But if we do, that's kind of where we.
Before we start, those glasses Nick was wearing in the video, can I get a pair of those or what?
You don't want a pair of those.
Why?
Because you can't see anything. It's
Maybe I
terrible.
don't want to see anything. Maybe I don't want to see Robin. How you guys doing? New face here hosting. My name is David, and beside me is my co-host Robin. We are the Sin City Crypto team, and we are joined by none other than the man himself, Kelly Kellum, and my boy, AJ from AJ Writes Crypto. We are simulcasting not only to Blockchain Basement, but to Sin City Crypto Live as well. So,
So
big
also
shout
must
out.
be your first day here because I'm here too.
And we have Biscuit Jesus in the house. That's right.
It's the
My bad,
Biscuit
bro.
Jesus.
My
But David,
bad.
David, let me ask you a question.
Ask
Is this the couch that you sat on when you were casted for this position?
Actually, the couch was red. And it was red after.
My
the fact.
couch was black.
That's not the point.
So much blood. So much blood.
That's not the point. Guys, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Twitch, welcome. Make sure to drop hellos. We have a fun show today. For
Do
you.
I get an intro here or what?
No.
Yeah, did we co-host this?
He did. He said, "Am I
I guess it
co-host
is
Robin?"
Robin.
Yeah, but I gotta bring
Okay,
myself
Robin,
in.
go
here.
ahead, Robin.
Okay,
Wow.
thank you. All right,
Oh,
we're also
man.
showing our own show here too, man.
Okay, go.
Hola! It's your boy Big Rob up in a new house.
Wow.
Boom.
Let's go.
I
Take
kinda
over,
like,
baby.
I kind of like when you're sitting down. Look how small you are compared to me. That's how you belong. Anyways,
I'm comfy. Okay.
guys, what are your thoughts?
Got this leather.
What are your thoughts on the markets right now? So markets are bleeding. Bitcoin's at $29.5. ETH is at $2,084. There are a few cryptos that are pumping. Avalanche being one of them. Doge is up 1% over the last 24 hours. So what are your guys' thoughts on the overall markets? Is this a healthy pullback, or are we seeing what's happening in the traditional markets and the macro side start bleeding into crypto? Robin, I'll ask you first.
Well, I think as long as we're holding 29,000, I think that we'll be back over 30 or that we're heading that direction. I wouldn't freak out because you lose the 30K support line, that exact level. So as long as we're over at 29, I think we're fine. Even if we go one day trading underneath 29, we'll be okay. I do want to give just an acknowledgement here to our viewers and our chat on Sin City Crypto's channel. I do have the chat here pulled up on my laptop, so feel free to converse here, and we'll definitely you guys a shout out to our new members and also to any super chats and all that other jazz.
That's right.
Also, we got to do something very, very important. Dave, I can get you to rotate that cup slightly clockwise a little bit more.
A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Keep going. Right there.
Right
Stop.
there.
Can I keep my pinky there?
Yes.
Perfect. A little bit back towards you.
Lockjustment.
Perfect.
Anyways,
Did I miss something?
no, you didn't.
Can you not read?
You miss everything. Yeah. Actually, he can't. It's funny you say that. He cannot read.
Lock.
Hold on a second. Look at this. BitBoy Crypto. Let me guess why you're not on the cruise. Kelly, afraid of water. Man, I am a water babe. I'm a Pisces, man. AJ, afraid of jellyfish.
Yo, he's not
Man,
wrong. I don't mess with jellyfish.
Were you-
I was at the
banned?
aquarium yesterday, and I would rather be in the Shark Tank than in with those damn jellyfish.
Were you,
Nah.
were you born in a
Nah.
bathtub? Is that like what is it?
BJ banned from international cruise lines, but not domestic.
Damn. Sin City Crypto, do you like fish sticks? I don't mind them with the
Do you like
correct
putting
sauce.
Fish
And
sticks
if
in
you're
your
from the
mouth?
Sinner community, you know
He's got
barbecue
no
sauce is
idea.
where it's at, my dude.
He's got no idea.
All right,
Fish
so
sticks? What are fish
Marcus.
sticks? Oh my God, am I out of the loop here? Are you guys?
You don't-
Am I about to get embarrassed?
You've never seen the South Park episode?
No, what is it?
Kanye West.
Okay. Do you like fish sticks? Yes or no?
We
I said
doing this?
yes.
Okay.
Do you like putting fish sticks in your mouth?
Oh God, I don't like where this is going. No, I'm stopping it there. You're all cut off. Remember, who's moderating the show? Don't forget, guys. I will put you in a bind live on TV. All right.
When we get back to our Airbnb, we're gonna watch that at South Park.
Yeah, we are.
And we'll do the show again tomorrow. We'll have a different perspective.
Must be.
You're the Kanye West of blockchain today.
Wow. Thank you so much. I accept I don't have the bank account.
You're a genius.
Kelly, let me ask you, bro. Healthy pullback or should we be worried?
I'll tell you, my line in the sand is lower than people would expect, but my line in the sand is a short-term holder realized price, which is currently about 23,400, 500. As long as we're above that, I'm as bullish as I can be. I don't particularly think in this small pullback that it will really matriculate into something that pulls down that far. I'd like to really see it hold above 26,000. But we do need some sort of at least sideways consolidation or a little bit of a pullback to get to sort of pull back that fear and greed index, pull it a little more neutral. We need to have some of the mid time frame oscillators and momentum gauges reset. So as it stands right now, I do think government's they're just trying to throw anything at us to bring it down because this is the answer.
AJ, you're the chart guy.
Yeah.
Well, Kelly's also a chart guy, but you're the crazy chart guy. What the hell is that?
Well, Bitcoin from the little bottom, when it bottomed out in March, over the next 35 days, it pumped 58% to to its local top.
No.
And that's a lot for Bitcoin. That's like an altcoin. That's like what crypto dreams are made of, So I am obviously expecting a retrace here. I kind of drew that little channel, on the live stream TA, and I'm totally seeing it probably come down to the bottom of that channel. Someone that mentioned in the chat is completely right. My market cipher is not the same. My TA setup is not the same setup on the live stream computer. And there was the 200 EMA. He's completely right about that being a level for a possible retest on the 8-hour chart. That does have a blood diamond on it on market cipher on Bitcoin, sitting 26.9.
Nice
for that. And honestly, I would like us to stay above 29.5 for that little SR level there. But if we don't do that, I wouldn't be surprised if we broke down into the bottom of the channel. Like I said, as long as we stay in the channel, as long as we don't break down out of the channel, we're still bullish. But if we break down through that channel, then I'd be a little bit concerned. But one thing at a time. And I kind of think looking for some shorts, looking for some alt shorts as we are traveling down that hill. That's what we can do today. That's in our control.
Speaking of shorts, the weather's actually really nice. But none of us here are wearing shorts.
No,
I'm a pants guy, man. Ever since I moved to New York, and also traveled the world a bit, shorts are a very American thing.
That's right.
And ever since then, and then also I got some pretty scarred up legs from a motorcycle accident. I don't show off the turkey legs.
Turkey legs.
Felix C over here in the Sin City chat says 100x shirt ever. I'm assuming he's talking about my badass shirt.
He said short everything.
Shirt.
Yeah, but he meant short everything.
No, he's talking about my shirt.
Yeah, but then he said
shirt. Also, DJ D Ryu to you. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If you're new here, say hello so we can jump an hola back at you. Yep.
Let's shift gears here. All right. Let's talk about the dollar, the United States dollar.
Oh, this is a crypto show.
It is, but it's going to tie in.
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Ooh.
Wow. Transitions.
Shut up.
Watcher Guru on Twitter tweeted, US dollar has lost 98% of its purchasing power since 1971. You know what has not lost 98%?
Shares, albums?
Bitcoin.
Oh.
Share, terrible.
What?
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
If
Yeah.
you believe in life after love.
Actually, I kind of like Cher. I like it. I'll pick Celine Dion over Cher, though, for sure.
She's getting up there in the age, man.
She is. And she's half Armenian, like me.
But the crazy thing is that all the in Vegas, all of the Cher ads or banners or billboards or whatever it is, she's looking young and fresh, and they're like 30-year-old pictures. And then you see her in real life, you're like,
AI now changes everything. And then I want to, so let me ask you guys, okay? Are you, and this is being 100% transparent and honest.
Unlike the government.
2 weeks ago, for like 3-4 days in a row, I was legitimately stressing out. I was like, I am so concerned about the US dollar, the de-dollarization happening. Countries, if they start dumping treasuries and start flooding the US market with dollars that are currently held overseas, I mean, we're talking an event like Venezuela, Argentina, massive hyperinflation. And I sat down with my wife and my friend and I talked to them. I said, listen, this is something that we should be concerned about. It's not something that we should completely push to the side and say, no, there's no way. And I started moving a lot of my fiat savings into Bitcoin and crypto. AJ, do you share the same, I don't want to say fear, but the same, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, do you share that same sentiment, or is this a nothing burger for you?
I don't think it's a nothing burger at all. I've said this before and I say it again. If you held your money in a bank account for the past 20 years, you're making a mistake. Like, that's terrible. Like, how do you have confidence in the banking system? How do you have confidence in your government where they're just devaluing everything you work for? Like that's kind of my whole point. That's the whole point. Like, they're not doing us any favors. Do we need them?
What's your plan then?
My plan
what's
is
your
crypto.
plan?
Crypto, 100%.
Okay.
Crypto.
What about you, Kelly?
I think that it's more, I mean, I do think it's 100% trending that direction, but I think it's FUD and sort of like a hyperbolic, just fear generator really is what they're doing. It's going to take, if we really think about how the world, globalization and, the global economy, for them to want to tank the dollar would also be tanking their own economies, because our economy here, import and export, is so large that if the US dollar, if it were to switch, overnight, and by overnight, I mean, even over the course of 10 years, it would cause massive issues economically, globally. And so I think it's something that we should be concerned with. But I think if anybody that's watching this channel right now, whether it's Sin City Crypto channel or Blockchain Basement, if you're watching these crypto focused shows, BitBoy Crypto, BitLab Academy, Frankie Candles, if you're diving in, even if you haven't bought yet, if you are just interested, you are so far ahead of the curve. And by doing that, I think you're already starting to position yourself to hedge yourself against that potentiality. If it does happen faster than, something faster than 30 or 40 years, then, of course, that's going to be very destabilizing. But I think just by being interested and starting to position yourself in crypto is a good hedge against that. But I don't think it's going to happen overnight. And as it is for myself, I have a very small, I won't call it fiat, traditional investment portfolio.
Oh, I thought that was going somewhere else.
I have a very small, hey, I'm all black, baby. You should, but
you're going short, not long. Huh?
Hey, man, I'm clear here, but
oh
Don't worry, Kelly.
no, but I think that I think it's going to take a lot longer because of the different trade agreements. And so I personally am about 98% already all in on crypto. I have a small traditional investment fund, but I don't advise that for everybody, because everybody doesn't watch the charts and do research all day long like I do. So for a traditional person, having somewhere between 5 and 15%, depending on your risk exposure, and scale it up with your knowledge. That's all I could say about that.
That's a good point.
There's so much FUD going on with the American dollar and its dominance.
Is it FUD though? Is it FUD?
Yeah. It is not FUD.
It is FUD, but
FUD is fake.
Fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and that's what we have in the dollar. And the narrative is getting circulated.
Yeah, but FUD is always.
Now, here's the thing. I have exited the traditional finance with the exception of a checking account. Unfortunately, businesses here in America
what are your thoughts
have
on
not.
savings
So it has not transitioned out of the need for a checking account.
Wait, you're Trent. Never mind.
And
BJ's gonna get us canceled.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's working on it.
So you can't exit the system completely without having to jump through a bunch of hoops and make life a lot more complicated. I haven't completely unplugged, but I don't have a savings account. I don't have any traditional investments. I'm 100% crypto on that end. But now with that said, the US dollar dominance as the medium for exchange right now is not going to get replaced within the short time window. As Kelly has said, it is going to be a process that we transition over. And the fact that we just got article after article and the main discussion and talking points that we see from all kinds of content creators and major news media sources is that we are heading for a de-dollarization tomorrow, and that now all of a sudden we're going to wake up tomorrow, we're going to be selling oil in the yen or yuan, and
they're already doing that.
They are going through they're going through the process, but the fact is that majority of trade is still going to be facilitated through the dollar, at least priced through the dollar, and that is just the reality of the situation, and it's not changing, not like a flip of a switch. Now what we are having is we're having the loading screen, we're having the little bar come across. Right now it might be 20% de-dollarization, but we're going to get to the 100% at some point. But I think that point is far out there. But I think it's going to be a moderate transition, slow to moderate transition.
It's close enough
into crypto.
It's close enough to where you should start making plans. At the very least.
You should.
I want to give a shout out to our friend Jimmy. His son won their baseball tournament. So big shout out to baby Jimmy, mini Jimmy. Congratulations. I know his son watches the show sometimes with him. So if you're watching, baby Jimmy, thank you so much.
Also, we got some new people here in the Sin City chat. We got DJ D-Rube, Mad Finergy, Crypto Infinity, Satoshi Nakamoto, and then Harry Newt. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin.
That's right. All right. Let's talk about alts. ALTCs or ALTSs. This is from TED Talks Macro on Twitter.
Great account. Follow it if you're not, everybody.
Amen. I agree. The altcoin market is set up for a plus 50% move. Total market cap minus Bitcoin and ETH has printed its first macro higher low since November of 2021. Ethereum is likely to follow the lead of Bitcoin and consolidate over the coming days and weeks as it approaches high time frame resistance. And that should give breathing room for the rest of the altcoin market to run hard. Market structure has clearly shifted. Plus, there's now clear invalidation here for altcoin bulls. For me, that would be a close below 350 billion on the total 3 chart. The next month or so should be fun. Now, Rob, I'm going to ask you, are we going to see the same money flow where it's Bitcoin to ETH to alts and then to microcaps and then back into Bitcoin? Or do you think with the banking crisis and macro where it's at, that might not necessarily be the way money flows, and more people with a recession looming are going to be more apt to invest in Bitcoin, ETH?
I think we're going to get more of the dominance on Bitcoin where it is now up until the halving. And so if you look historically, Bitcoin dominance has held strong throughout the bear markets. And then as people are taking profits during the bull market where you're going to parabolic run, at that point, you're starting to see the spillover of profits into altcoins. Not to say there aren't going to be some outliers. It's definitely want to keep your magnifying glass out there. Identify the projects that are building right now that are preparing to pop off. Maybe if you can identify some big partnerships in the pipeline, perhaps some big upgrades, identify those now, and those are probably the ones that you might want to diversify. Find 5 or 6 altcoins that you see have some roadmap things coming up soon, and then from there, diversify 5 or 6 of them. But other than that, I think Bitcoin's going to hold dominance. I don't think it's going to pop off. I don't think we're going to see anything crazy. Where is the Bitcoin dominance right now? It is
45.5.
45. I don't see it going over 50%, honestly. I think if it does go over 50%, it might just be in the short term. I think these two will stay more or less constant, the Bitcoin dominance and ETH dominance. And then from there, I think that spills over to alts right before the halving. So
before I ask Kelly and AJ, Manawak from the Twitch Blockchain Basement chat said, going all in on SHIB and Doge for show.
Like with that said, I don't know if the very speculative alts is the best move right now.
No.
I think there's a speculative alt season, the same way that we saw last bull market, and not to say you can't, like I said, you can identify projects, but I think those are like the ones that have potential that are building. But as far as the moonshots, I think I don't know. I
Yeah,
proceed with
tell
caution.
that to Render. I was just kidding.
No, but we also see coins like those super speculative meme coins also. They can have pushes that kind of jumpstart a market, but the largest pushes that they get tend to also be very correlated with the end of a bullish trend on the macro for the crypto environment, because it's if you really think about it, those are driven by a lot of retail hype buyers, and they come in. Retail hype comes in at the end of a market when prices are at a level where you're basically getting free media publication because, oh my God, price is so high. And then people don't understand. Everybody out there, if you don't understand this, look it up. We have it all over our channels. My channel, BitLab Academy, I'm BitBoy Crypto, Sin City Crypto. We all talk about tokenomics. There's so much retail, so many retail traders that come in and they think that they can't afford Bitcoin because it's 30,000 or 60,000. But man, SHIB is inexpensive because it's 0.0001 cent. If it only got to 28,000, it's not going to. That's not how it works. Understand the tokenomics. But as it stands, your question about your question about the flow of capital throughout the crypto ecosystem, and Robin's comment about Bitcoin not breaking about 50% dominance. The only caveat I'll throw in with that, I think that's probably most likely if things stay the way they are with either regulatory uncertainty or regulatory clarity that's even. If there is regulatory clarity that comes in that really does classify the majority of alts as securities, but then creates a positive regulatory framework for Bitcoin, then I could see a situation where Bitcoin absolutely dominates the hell out of altcoins if that were to happen. But as it stands, our U.S. government does not tend to operate very quickly. So I can't see regulation that would really point in that direction, probably even within the next 3 years.
What are your thoughts, AJ? Same question. Is the flow of money into the crypto markets going to change, or is it still going to be Bitcoin to ETH to alts to low caps?
I mean, we kind of have had a pattern over time, kind of Bitcoin spends its moment in the sun, and then, it kind of changes into alts, and that's kind of how things have gone in the past. I don't really see that pattern breaking until otherwise, like kind of just how the halving cycles have been accurate the whole time. And until that breaks, we're going to go, that's the Bible. You know what I mean? So, I mean, definitely right now, Bitcoin has been running the show, but at the same time, dominance has fell substantially in the past. Here, let me measure it. I have my chart right here. Dominance has fallen 4% in the past 5 days and 8 hours, and it hasn't been like that good for alts. Like a couple alts have popped up, like shout out to Render, has been doing really good today. I still am looking for a short for Render, but I'm not getting that short yet because that thing is still ripping. But basically, it's always been like this. You know what I mean? Like it's always so funny because like a lot of the times when Bitcoin's pumping and you're looking at the rest of the charts, you're just like, why aren't the alts following it? And that's because Bitcoin's running the show. And when Bitcoin's running the show, like holding off isn't really the thing to do unless like you're long-term accumulating for years and years and years, which is fine. But when that happens, it is okay to trade Bitcoin if you're a leverage trader. Like being in Bitcoin positions isn't the worst thing when Bitcoin's running the show, even though the market cap's really large. Sometimes Bitcoin does have that volatility. Like a lot of times, like if Bitcoin's trading in a 3% range, I'm looking for altcoins that trade in a 12% range and use that volatility to my advantage. But when Bitcoin dominance is high and it's running the show, and Bitcoin, what did it pump earlier? I said 50 some percent in 30 some days. Like you can do just fine trading Bitcoin when it is running the show. So like where that line changes, like when Bitcoin falls off and when it's time to start trading alts, like normally that's the kind of thing that you can't really foresee that. Like hindsight's always 2020, but if we all had a crystal ball, like you know what I mean? This is why like educated guesses, using the past, using like what Kelly does, like on-chain stuff like that. That's why it's important to learn that stuff.
What the hell is that floating on the screen?
Oh, wait, what?
Whose face was that? All right. Let's move. Let's stay in the altcoin sector, but let's move on to some specific targeted altcoins. So this
Injective protocol up 50% for the week. No,
well, that is as well. But this is from Miles Deutscher on Twitter, same handle. Interesting to note that during this rally, the newer coins like Arbitrum, Aptos, and Optimism are outperforming their older counterparts. The market loves gravitating towards the latest shiny thing. Same thing happened last cycle. It will happen again. Said this is down to 3 factors. New tech offers an improvement, lack of historic price action, and there's also perception that the new coins can replicate how, where'd it go? Can replicate how the old ones performed. And then third, current trends more effectively grasp retail mindshare versus older narratives. Robin, do you think this pump in these, where he talks about the newer compared to their older counterparts, is it because they're better or because there's more hype around them? Because people were going for an airdrop? Because whatever the case may be. Does it come down to utility and the nuts and bolts, or is it just hype and social media?
Question.
Oh man, you know what you have is the overall market of crypto, and this money just sloshes around and it leaves one project over to another. And so when you, first of all, when you airdrop, that money isn't essentially created out of thin air. I mean, it hypothetically is, but that value is leaving another ecosystem in one way or another. And it might not be immediate cause and effect, but you know, when you airdrop $2 billion, all of a sudden the market cap of crypto did not just inject $2 billion into the overall market cap. It might bump up slightly, but that needs to be accounted for elsewhere. A lot of it is, hey, I got airdropped, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell my tokens I just got airdropped, or sell half my tokens, or whatever it is. So what you're doing is you're removing money from the ecosystem. Now, when it comes to new projects dropping, that's what happens. And you don't need to look much further than the 2018 bull market, where the top 100 was littered with.
Wait, that was a mandatory bull market, right?
Yeah, mandatory bull market. Now, in the 2017 bull market, you had all these different projects that were repeatedly shown over and over again. What was it? Dash was a big one. Remember how big Dash was?
Dash was huge.
Dash and Neo.
Geo.
Yeah.
EOS too.
And Tron was supposed to be like the savior of the planet. And money left those ecosystems and went elsewhere. And not to say that the project completely died, but it has fizzled in dominance. And I think, to answer your question, that's what we're seeing now, and that's what we're going to see in the next bull market. The trend is not gonna change. Remember, Litecoin was top 3 project at one point. Now it's outside the top 10, and I think that, you know, if the trend continues, I'm not trying to be a hater on Litecoin, but
You're a hater.
if the trend continues, I think, you know, you'll see Litecoin outside the top 15, then outside the top 20, and then, hey,
Tom Crown is.
Oh,
Tom Crown's watching.
There he is.
Oh, damn it.
Man, that Litecoin convention was so fun.
That's great.
Real
Quick, in the chat, just real quick, how do you pronounce Day Royal Ken? How do you find out about new airdrops? Ben and I, we recently did a video on BitBoy Crypto 2 weeks ago about finding new airdrops.
That was a great video, by the way.
Website that I remember off the top of my head was airdrops.io.
Yep.
But definitely watch the video. There's so many ways to kind of discover them. And a lot of the times they don't give you the exact rundown on what you do. They want you to, because they don't want to like set a minimum thing. They want you to partake in the ecosystem as much as possible. So there is some guesswork involved in airdrops, but if you're still unsure, definitely check out that video from BitBoy Crypto last week.
I will say though that on the subject of projects kind of, you know, fading or people forgetting about it, there are a lot that come back really strong. So back to the 2017 narrative, a lot of people wrote Cardano off as done and as one of the equivalent to Dash, you know, and then we saw the resurgence and the comeback of that. And you know, there's a handful of examples that I can identify that are similar to Cardano. Like Phantom is one of the ones that I think that DeFi is the reason that crypto was created. It's what it does best, and Phantom is leading the charge in the DeFi sector. And then. So yeah, I mean, that's just one example. And then I do want to, just to take a quick second, I want to see how many OLAs we can get in the chat. So here at the Blockchain Basement, if you're not familiar, we drop OLAs in our chat, and our community gets the chant going. That's Ola without the H, OLA. I'm gonna have a competition here to see who can drop more Olas. If it's
Blockchain Basement
or Sin City Crypto.
Wait, hold on. Is it the basement
So-
including Twitch or basement YouTube, Sin City YouTube?
Yeah, we just every handle out there possible, man. We need to see how many Olas we can get. Let's see who's
Drop the first one.
repping.
Drop the first one, bro.
Who's repping harder?
Drop the
Is
first
it Sin City or is it Blockchain?
Damn. All right. These Twitch emojis are kind of dope. I really like the black cat that was like boo 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 boo. Anyways,
Like,
this is a fun show, man.
You
is
see,
fun.
we don't have
This
Rocco to
show's
do the
good.
sound effects, so
I know.
David doesn't.
Yeah, BJ, I wish you could be half of what Rocco was. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, BJ, I'm kidding. You threw shade at me earlier today, bro. I had to.
my god.
I had to strike back, bro. Rocco, I love you. BJ, I also love you. I love all of you. Okay.
Rocco have this?
Is that
He did not
barbecue
have that.
chicken pizza?
Wait, is there barbecue? If it's barbecue chicken pizza, I will take my statement back.
Yeah.
Don't take it back.
There's no barbecue chicken
What?
pizza.
Yes, there is.
That was marinara pizza.
That was marinara pizza.
Oh, whatever.
Anyways, all right, Kelly. Same question to you. Is this what Miles is saying? Is this really the technology and what they're doing is that much better? The utility is that much better? Is that what is driving price and investment, or is it just bros getting airdrop token?
Well, I think there's two important considerations here that pros definitely get involved in this sort of speculative environment as well. However, pros have a strategy and they're able to execute an exit plan, based on what their strategy is. And I think what happens is a lot of people that do get involved in airdrops are caught up in the marketing from hearing from other people talk about them. And so on the one hand, you tend to have smaller market caps. Therefore, it's going to be a more volatile coin. So it takes less monetary energy to create momentum.
You're starting to sound like Michael Saylor. Bro.
To create momentum. It's thermodynamically sound.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But to create that momentum, it takes less monetary energy to make that happen. For instance, if you're trying to push Bitcoin 2%, that's a hell of a lot more money than pushing a micro cap 30%. Right. So that's one aspect of it. And so we need to be aware of that. And if you do see something, if you do get an airdrop or you do get into a project, on the first day or two or something like that, and you see something pump 70%, take profit. I beg you, take some profit out of that.
Yep.
And if you like that project, redeploy when it crashes, because it will crash. And the other aspect of that is that a lot of newcomers do not pay attention to is, on the one hand, the excitement is I'm going to be in something early. So I'm going to be like Cardano, getting in at 1 cent and 3 cents and having it go to $3. Well, if you got into Cardano at 3 cents after it was around 3 years, that makes sense.
Right.
If you get into something that's an airdrop, a great example of this was I can't remember the name of the token, but almost look at any token on the day it comes out. You see a massive pump and then the massive sell off. And one of the aspects of that is you've got to look at what the percentage split is from the members of that organization, or that the investors, the early investors in that company. If it's something like Solana, like for instance, I think Solana is a fine technology. I think they have a lot of work to do. But one of the things I didn't like about them is they had like a 60% or something, 70% of the funds were held by the early investors. So it was very centralized. And with these airdrops, if you're not paying attention to when the unlocks are for these coins, I want to see if I'm going to buy early in a coin that recently released within a day or a week. I want to know what the unlock schedule is for the early investors, because if they were able to say launches on an exchange at 50 cents, if the early adopter investment was only 10 cents or 20 cents a coin, the second it comes out, that means they're already in massive profit. If there's not an unlock schedule set, then they can dump the day it comes out and already be in profit, be out on their investment, and then you have to wait, months, years, sometimes many years for the utility to really show itself valuable for the price to go back up. So if you are going to do an airdrop, have an exit strategy on hand immediately, but also be aware of what the unlocks are for early adopters, so that you don't get caught in the crossfire and wonder how come everybody else is rich and I'm broke? Well, people with strategies are rich. People without strategies are broke.
And I think that's a great point. And I want to just from a personal story, I was airdropped the SOS token.
Same.
from OpenSea. And I, like an idiot, I decided to hold on to. Oh no! And it went from like $250 to like $1. So
same story.
Yeah. So guys, don't worry. If you made that mistake, you're not alone. Even people who follow this every day.
You are alone because I do not make that mistake. I get airdropped.
But you don't get airdrop anything.
Yeah, so
you're a loser.
I always take my profits off the table. A lot of times way too early.
Yeah. Okay.
Like with your Shiba?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that or no?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I thought you were just gonna say no, but okay.
Man, that fool just blasted you, bro.
I was just joking.
Yeah, I picked up it was a $2,000 a SHIB before it got listed on any exchange on Uniswap. Before anybody knew it, and then sold it. I had like a 5-6x, and then bought again and made another 5-6x, and I was like, oh damn, earned like 20-30 grand or something. I was like, oh nice. And then anyways, I didn't look at the price again, and then a few weeks later, and
how much would you have had?
If I didn't sell, I would have had 44 million.
You know, I've been trying to get you to talk about what coin you, and you have not for a year and a half. You refused.
There was a meme.
Hold on, bro.
There was
I'm your
a
business
meme
partner.
contagion.
Hold
there was
on,
a
bro.
meme contagion, okay? And I was doing a service to
I
my
am your
people.
business
by
partner.
saying- I was doing a service to the
See what I
people
did?
by not talking about my meme contagion. Because if I would have said, "Hey, I would have had $44 million," if I would have held on to my meme coin, I didn't want to put her.
You're
I didn't
trying
want
to exit out the back door, but the back door is closed. All right? The back door is closed. I am your business partner and your co-host, and I've tried to get you, and out of respect for you, I haven't said the name of the token. It was SHIB. And you refused. And we come here one day, on day one. AJ brings it up, and you just spill the beans.
I mean, look at that
Disappointing, bro.
jawline.
All right, look here, bro. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna upgrade to the first class ticket, leave your ass in coach on the flight back, bro. Letting you
Then
know.
again, anytime you turn
Wow,
$2,000,
what a way to compensate for what you just did,
That's
Robin.
right.
You're such a good person.
I don't know. The way I see it, anytime you turn $2,000 into 30
Yeah.
or 20, come
You
on.
can't be mad. No,
Okay.
no.
Come on. Like,
So my experience was I had went to 0 or 90% losses on a lot of these speculative coins. I don't care who it is. At the time when Shiba Inu was first rallying, there was nobody thought it was gonna break the top 100, much less the top 50, much less the top 20. And the amount of money that poured into it just surprised everybody. And I had been duped so many times before. I had gained some new practices, and it was setting exit price points and certain price targets to take my money off the table. And I was learning as a lot of us do. And in hindsight, I know, hey, don't take all your profits off the table. And if you do get a 5 to 6x, you know what? Leave 20%, 10% behind on a what if scenario. You're already in profit. What's the big deal?
Like Wendy says, the moon bag.
Yeah. And so for me, that's a lesson I learned, but also I had turned the profits I did because of the lessons I learned before, where I had lost all my money because I just simply held it there. And I was like, you know what? I'm up 5%, I'm up a 5x. I'm like, I'm not going to sell. I'm going to see how high it goes. And next thing you know, you're down to $1, you're down to $100.
Greed is the biggest thief.
Yeah. So
That's so true.
Yeah.
I like to identify my price targets. I also like to identify the $50 super chat by Crypto Billy up in here. He says, for extra battery for your camera, Rob, well, you'll need it at Consensus. Plus, we got to get Jimmy going today.
Yeah,
And
Jimmy
so-
and Crypto Billy have an auction war.
Yeah, so I'll actually be in Consensus next week. And so if you're going to go to Consensus, make sure you guys show up, support. Crypto Billy will be with me there. So if you want to meet Billy and or Big Rob, make sure you come out there. And then also we have the battle of Super Chats. Jimmy just one-cented up Crypto Billy and dropped a $50 Super Chat. So
Jimmy, don't even read what it says.
it
No,
says,
don't read it.
Dave, how does it feel to sit behind a real desk? There it is.
This man has, I don't know what it is with my desk. He hates my desk. With all the super chats and gifted memberships, I could have bought one, but I choose not to.
We should get a new desk.
Yeah, okay.
You know what? We should just wrap your desk. For those of you that don't know, I'll get a.
Okay, yeah, sure. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Someone I dislike more than Robin is none other than the Gun. And if you're part of the Cynic community, you know who I'm talking about. Gary the Gun. Because the SEC, so They issued a Wells notice to Bittrex. Bittrex then said, all right, we're out of the US, and now it's official. Lawsuit was dropped. But here's the big headline. Algorand was labeled a security in that lawsuit. And poor AJ, look at AJ. Pan to AJ, please.
Hold on.
Man is
Zooming
sad.
in.
Man is sad.
You are not
Somebody give my boy a hug.
alone.
Another day is gone.
Don't touch me.
Al goes all alone. So,
why? Oh, you're zoomed in on my face. Cool. I'm gonna go back to this.
guys, we have a video of none other than the man himself,
We'll call him the crop top. Look at that haircut.
the gun himself. He was shilling Algorand. This is just a few years ago. Listen,
If I ever walk by Gary at any point, even after he gets fired,
Crop
like
top.
I live in Maryland. Like
careful, careful. They're watching.
How are you gonna know if it's?
I would give him a hug.
How are you gonna know if it's him?
I
or
would
his
give
brother,
him-
Though?
I would give him a really
You know
strong
what?
hug.
Twins feel it though.
I don't
guess.
care.
You guys ever seen Nacho Libre?
Oh yeah.
Remember when he walks up and then he's like, Anaconda squeeze. That's what I would do to Gary Gensler, but it would last a lot longer and
What
be a lot
kind-
harder.
You're gonna squeeze his anaconda? Is that what you said?
I'm tired of him. That's why I,
I
keep
knew that
going.
was coming. All right, we have a
Hold
video.
on, hold on. Before we get into that video, I did find a image of David's desk here. So from the,
Don't do
the
it, BJ.
show here.
Don't do it,
actually, it's
BJ.
right here. There you go.
I'll
There
say
it
it.
is.
You're such an idiot.
Wow.
You know I'm arm's length now, right? I can just.
My question is, why do you have an underage young lady at your
This
desk?
is actually
sir?
the real desk is right
Can you
here.
guys afford that?
So like
We can't.
this is in our studio here, so you can see this this nice brown desk here. This is
I do want to say, when I came to Las
you
Vegas
came.
and did the in-studio show with you guys,
Yeah.
I sat at your desk and I thought it was nice.
Thank you, AJ.
I thought it was fancy.
AJ.
I liked it. What
Air
can I
hugs.
say?
Wait, AJ, you said you came?
Got a nice big desk.
No, I went.
BJ, what is wrong?
Hold on. Hold on.
Oh,
We're gonna
God,
do
what are we
this
doing?
slow. Hold on.
Oh.
We're gonna do this real time. You did this to yourself.
What the hell is going on?
Thanks, Beach.
I've got the elevator music.
Were we looking at the debt?
So hold on. Hit Network pays you to do this?
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
Oh,
Interesting.
For the record, everybody,
focus.
I'm not selling my Algorand. I am probably going to short it. I said I was going to short it earlier. I didn't get into the short because it started turning around. And now it's just kind of sitting there in the balance. And I'm just like with my finger on the button with all the money in the account. And I just don't know what direction it's going to run. But once I can kind of get any sort of confirmation, I'm looking for a pretty big trade here. My ledger on my Algorand on my ledger, I'm not going to sell it. Like people in the chat have said, I've held it for
Because
too
he lost
long
the seed phrase.
to bail at this point. I'm not going to bail. But when I saw this news, it freaked me out. Like, I'm not running or anything like that, but rightfully so, I'm freaked out. And if you're not freaked out, you should be, because it's the SEC. And of course, like, they're going to
Bro, they've
bring
labeled everything
they
as
can.
security.
I know that, but that doesn't mean that it won't freak. I am not freaked out because of that. Of course, they're going to label everything as security. Operation
how
Chokehold.
people are going to respond.
I'm worried how everyone else is going. Exactly, Kelly. Thank you. That's what I'm worried about. And if it just sets on fire, I don't know. At what point? Hold on. At what point, if say Algorand sets on fire, starts going down, at what point am I going to sell? I don't know, because probably the time I press the button would be the bottom of that dip, and then I would feel super stupid when it bounces back
The
to
problem
22
is
cents now.
if we see what happened with XRP, where
This is
you
crotch
get
talk
the
with Robin.
exchanges delisting, that is where you're going to have the major
Yeah,
issues and the
exactly.
price falls. I think right now we're starting to get numb to the SEC
Yep.
labeling things as securities kind of without a official direct like lawsuit, and just them just kind of loosely saying, oh yeah, security, oh yeah, likens to securities. But when the SEC drops a hammer, says security, and to the fact that exchanges here in the States are delisting, we saw what that did to the price suppression of XRP, and I don't think any blockchain is free of that. It just simply
Listen,
dries up the liquidity, man.
Gary's on his way out.
I hope so.
Gary's on his way out. Also, this might make you feel better. Gary was on camera shilling Algorand. Here's what he had to say.
Oh yeah, I cut you off earlier.
Uber or lift on top of a blockchain
I hate his
technology
face
today.
so effing much.
Well, maybe in 5 years you could. It would have the performance. Sylvia McCally's Algorand, who's a Turing Award winner at MIT that I work with. Sylvia's got a great technology that has performance. You could create Uber on top of it. The question is then who would update the software?
So he mentions Algorand in a favorable tone.
Oh my god!
And now he labeled it security, but
He said his friend.
Yeah, well,
Is he his friend?
He's like
Are they
Robin.
friends?
Robin
He said
says he's your
friend.
friend, and then he treats you like crap.
He
That's
said
exactly.
friend.
Well,
what
he
Gary
works
Gensler's
in
doing.
government, so he's bought and paid for.
Exactly.
Listen, let me ask you guys a more general question, and Kelly, I'm going to ask you first. Well, first of all, share your thoughts on this Algorand thing. Are you worried? Should people be worried, or is this just what the SEC's been doing, and they're just eventually they're going to label anything? I don't think your name is Kelly. Kelly,
I think the XRP case is making them behind closed doors feel a little bit worried that they're losing control of the narrative. And so they're trying to falsely stack the deck by getting as many lawsuits as possible by throwing stuff like this out there. But I don't think they're going to win. I think they're fighting a battle against this stuff that has no value because they see how destabilizing it is of the current power structure, central banking system. And the central banking system is what gives the current government power, right? So if we look at the library case, Ben was talking about the other day on the video that he did about XRP and some other stuff, but he was talking about how in the library case, there's a judgment that basically designated the fact that secondhand sales of, excuse me, that's a Gary cough. Secondhand sales of coins and crypto it cannot be securities, and so exchanges are not necessarily just brokers of outright giving. The majority of volume on exchanges is peer to peer, not peer to peer, but peer to exchange to peer. So it is resale. So I think it's more posturing than actually something is going to happen. But in AJ's point, I think one of the things we have to remember when we're looking at markets is people that trade markets effectively are not emotionally tied to the assets they're trading. They may like something a lot or not like something a lot. Either way is fine. But somebody that's trading effectively is looking at what they think what's the projected market psychology and hope or fear going to be in the coming weeks, days, or months. And that's how you position yourself. Mm-hmm. You're playing against how other people are going to feel. Mm-hmm. And so if people are going to be scared by this, and if there is, for instance, a cascading of not just Bittrex, what if there's 2 or 3 more of these lawsuits get dropped on Coinbase, Kraken, then this could spell that pre-halving dump from here. Maybe we don't make it to 40, maybe 32, maybe 31 was the top and we drop back down to 17. I would not like to see that happen, but I think as it stands right now, until there's more news and more stacking of that deck, stacking of the FUD, I think right now it's just posture.
You know what I'm curious, and this is a thought experiment. But first, before I go into the thought experiment, I want to experiment with saying Redman, huge shout out, gifted 10 Sin City memberships. So big shout out to you.
And then also we do got some new people here in the Sin City chat. And if you're new here, say hello so I can jump a whole lot back at you. We got Stick, Kojo, Shane, Grid, Rosen, Space Chick, Andre, Unforgettable, Stacker, Cryptlocks, and Calvin V. Hola! Welcome
That
to
was not
Sin
bad.
Yeah,
City
did we
Crypto.
officially already talk about this? Watcher Guru says Justin, U.S. Congresswoman Warren Davidson to introduce legislation to fire SEC
Yeah, that was we covered that this morning.
this morning.
Yeah.
So this is an hour. They lied. Not an
Well,
hour.
they might have updated the article.
I know.
They might have updated
Maybe.
it. But yeah,
I thought we already talked
there
about
is
it.
that we did in the morning. There is legislation to get him out. But here's my
They're
thought.
trying to restructure the
SEC.
the SEC seat so that way it's not one king of the castle here.
King of the castle. King of the
And
castle.
what they're trying to do is have one representative that reports to a board that makes decisions on what is quote unquote securities, crypto. They didn't give too much insight though.
Well, in reality, we need a different governing body for the crypto ecosystem.
Thank you.
Divvy up the power.
As well as AI.
That's not
I
gonna
mean,
work,
both
Robin.
those, they can't, this new technology is so far past. I mean, Howey test, I get why they're trying to.
Oranges,
but
was
it's
the
like,
Howey test.
yeah. they're-
Oranges, guys.
It's like you had horses and you're trying to regulate what kind of tires you can put on a car.
Thank you.
Two different technologies, two different, it's
Why I got to bring horses into this, man? What have they done?
hey.
So I want to give a thought experiment here. I want to ask, Is it possible? And none of us here are lawyers, or we've never filed a lawsuit. What if all the top crypto projects came together and filed a lawsuit against the SEC?
That's hot.
That would be dope.
That would be, yeah. Even if it wasn't all, but even if it was like a collection of, well, the crypto could not, because then that would prove it was centralized. But if we had a group of
a DAO,
prominent, well, DAOs, but then also the key exchanges that fall. I mean, because in reality, they've shown it with this Operation Choke Point 2.0, and I can't remember the name of the. There was a lawsuit filing Cooper and
Kirkland and Cooper.
Yeah, and they were basically outlining how they were predatorily just going after basically manufacturing this, shutting off on-ramps because they see the value in it, not because it's...
well, there's a reason it's called 2.0, because 1.0 happened already. And we saw what they did to the online casinos, to the cannabis industry. They said, all right, we're not going to outlaw you, but... if you're going to service these sectors, well,
you saw what it did to the marijuana industry. If you have legal businesses that are operating, that are storing massive amounts, hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash, for the simple fact that they're not allowed to go and deposit and claim that income to the United States, to the United States banking system, because on the federal level, it's illegal. And so we could see something likened to that in crypto, where the federal government is saying, hey, you're not allowed to buy your Algorand or sell your Algorand. And if you want to on and offload cash in any way or form with this, you need to do it offshore or with some kind of Bitcoin ATM. Like, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Go ahead.
This whole thing is just adding to the conversation. Like, we've had conversations.
You know what?
Like, hold on, just really quick. Like with me and Ben and stuff. Like, we're freaked out about like what's going to happen in America. If you look at the language here, like even in the thing that got released this morning with Bittrex, like crypto asset securities, like calling, like that's what they refer to their cryptos as, crypto asset securities. Not just Algorand, not just OMG, but all cryptos. Like they're like how they changed the definition of recession. Well, they're changing the definition of this by calling something it's not. Like they're basically gaslighting us into thinking that everything's a security. And like Ben and I like have talked about this, like if we will have to leave America, like we've had that conversation. We might have to leave. Like people say in the chat, like I look defeated. I'm not defeated. I'm just freaked out. I'm just freaked out. Like this is my life. Like, and this is all our lives. And like they're threatening that. Like of course, I'm going to be like a little shook over like having to fly to Dubai every however long. I don't know.
Passport, bro.
I have a passport already. And to the traveling trader, yes, I participate in algo governance. I do folks finance.
Cool.
Boom.
We've also talked about moving as well. The OLA that you guys put in the chat, dropping OLA, that one is an OLA, which is native to Portugal, where that is going to be our flight to safety if there is sweeping regulation that tries to, this choke point 2.0. If that thing becomes a reality, if they succeed in
already is
regulating to death crypto, I'm it's not going to be Sin City crypto. It's going to be Ciudad
de Crypto. That's pretty funny.
There you go.
All right, we have Gary. So Gary, he continued his narrative on Twitter, and here's what he had to say. He tweeted this. So first, the Securities and Exchange Commission tweeted, "Today we charge crypto asset trading platform Bittrex and his co-founder and former CEO William Shihara for operating an unregistered national securities exchange, broker, and clearing agency," to which Gary retweeted, "Today's action yet again makes plain that the crypto markets suffer from a lack of regulatory compliance, not a lack of regulatory clarity." Right.
Okay, boomer.
Okay. I'm so tired of talking about this. I really am. Maybe you guys want to talk about it, but I'm just sick and tired of talking about it.
Let's shut the door on Gary.
Every time someone asks this guy, what's a security, he doesn't say it. He doesn't say it. Yep. And our friend Forrest, who's actually behind the scenes in the studio right now, we have him on our show every single Friday. And he brought up a great point. He said, because if Gary knows, if he draws that line in the sand, there will be clarity, which is bad for him and what he's trying to do. He's on this like freaking gladiator tear that I'm going to go down as the guy who shut crypto off, or maybe he's getting pressure from the banks. Maybe he's getting pressure from Joe Biden. Probably not, because you can't put two sentences together. But the point is, something is happening, and I don't understand what it is. It's like a coordinated attack. It's like if you view something as such a freaking threat, and you like deep down, they got to know they can't completely turn crypto off. They can't completely get rid of it in the US. So what's the old saying? Keep your friends close and your enemies closer, right? If you really see crypto as an enemy, try to find a way to harness it or make it to your, to your benefit. What are your thoughts, guys?
So
Robin?
we can somewhat see for us.
Yeah, there he is.
Foot.
Oh, there it is.
Just peek to your left.
That's a
Just
hairy
peek to your left. He's
leg.
got the camera down.
That's funny.
Robin, well, I mean, I don't know. I'll kind of leave this general, and whoever wants to speak on this can. But like I said, I'm just tired of talking about this, man.
You know
It's the
what's
same old
interesting
BS
is
every time.
that Bitrex waved the white flag. They were ceasing operations here in the
Right.
States. They were on the way out. They said that they were going to be shutting down the operations here. And yet we got this situation where they're still trying to drop the hammer on the way out. They're throwing the
They're
snowball
like,
at
don't let the
somebody
door
while
hit you
they're
on the
running
way
away.
out, and then slam the door on.
Yeah, man, it's not a good look for the U.S. and its crypto adoption, right? Even if you're submissive to the U.S. and you're like, okay, hey, you know what, we'll back out. It might not even be good enough, and they might still come after you, even after the fact. It's insane to me, man. I would just hope. Here's the thing. There was a lot of bullish momentum going in regulation when we were in the run-up phase, the bull market phase. A lot of politicians are waking up. All these new voices that we didn't hear before were speaking in a positive light about Bitcoin and crypto and Ethereum and its integration. And I'm just hopeful that in the next year we're going to get the halving, and we're going to hopefully start into, if history repeats itself, as I think most of us agree, we're going to be going into the next bull market. Will the narrative shift from stifle, stop, and don't integrate into the financial system? Will the narrative switch over, and will it be, hey, let's see what we can do. Let's not get left behind. I mean, the executive order from Joe Biden, it framed a good narrative, right? Now, whether or not that was a fake narrative or not, at least the headlines were, hey, we don't want to stifle innovation. We want to be at the forefront. And maybe we'll get more of that in the next bull market run in the same way that we did before. That's what I'm hoping for.
What are your thoughts? Just some closing thoughts on this, on Gary Gensler, and maybe if you guys want to briefly talk about it, like, is it even possible for crypto to flourish in the U.S. while Gary Gensler has any sort of oversight on or power that pertains to us?
Probably not. I don't see it with everything. Like, look at everything that's happened this year from the very first couple days of the year. BJ, I hate this view. Just put us all on the couch. Okay. But from the very beginning of this year, like, from the very beginning of this year, like, it came out with the crypto, like the warning to the banks to distance themselves from crypto, to Silvergate, to everything else, like Signature Bank. It's just been one thing after another. Every week there's like another thing happening, and like the Operation Chokehold 2.0 is already in effect. It's already happening. This isn't something that's building or something like if it leads up to crypto getting banned to some level or heavily regulated to the point people don't even want to partake in it anymore, this is already on its way, and this is all with Gary at the helm. The best thing that could happen right now is if Gary kicks rocks and like Hester takes over, and at least we can start there. At least there we could begin to have a meaningful conversation to innovate this revolutionary, life-changing technology to better everything. Like, they would rather suppress their own people. They would rather suppress innovation than have an honest conversation about what's actually going on, and it makes me sick. Like in case you can't tell, like I'm excited to be here on the show. The guys from Sin City, Kelly, I love these guys. These are all my friends, but I'm like pretty pissed off today. Like I'm not having the best time. Like today is one of those days where it all like came down at once, and I'm not sweating over like my own Algorand bags. I'm not worried about 10 grand, guys. I'm just this whole thing is. This is our work. This is our lives. And
this is what happens in the bear market. And you can look back at 2017 or the bear market. No, it was. It was the same thing when the 2018 when the ICO thing started to collapse, and a lot of people were just speculative on like, hey, they're making promises on the smart contract thing. That's just a pipe dream. And then they're like, oh, the only real value is Bitcoin. Before that, it was, Bitcoin's dead, going to zero. And then you had the Mt. Gox situation before. It's just, now it's just more people are in the system. So more people are freaking out. And now when Bitcoin goes through this bear market, now it's not just the crypto degens that are over here that are beating the drum like, oh man, this sucks. You also got CNN, Fox News. Everybody wants to weigh in. Everyone is jumping in like, oh, look what FTX did. Oh, look how the Bitcoin's down 85%, Bitcoin's down 70%. Like it's always been that. Every bull market that happens. Every cycle this happens. It's not anything new. And it's just like that people just forget how negative the crypto space gets during the bear markets. And we're going through it again. You know what? We're going to get another bull market come in a year and a half. The sentiment's going to completely change, even here in the States. And then you know what is going to happen after that? We're going to have another bear market. And then there's going to be a bunch more folks.
Thanks, Rob Stradamus.
There you go.
And I feel a lot better now, dude.
Grid 414 from the Sin City chat said, then make Chuck E. Cheese also. You swap $1 for their token. Come on, SEC, get Chuck E. Cheese. I agree, and you also buy their token for profit, whether that be through inflatable toys or Lego set you can get from tokens. Yeah, tickets you get from playing the games.
You always talk about Chuck E. Cheese, man.
Yeah, because I got kids.
I'm still creeped out by the giant rat as a mascot.
Remember the band?
Well, it's not worse than like
kind of the Robotronic. I love those guys,
dude. Yeah, I
they rock.
Dude, that was
they're great.
Cringe. But
good times.
Yeah, I always just think about it, man. The fact that the health department walk in and see a giant rat.
Well, they know if there's a giant rat, it scares off all the real rats.
Why is Gary
Pickle
still there?
Rick?
All right, we got to wrap it up, kids.
All right, let's wrap it up. Guys, before we wrap it up, we're going to break it down real quick. To those of you that are not subscribed or don't know who the hell we are, my name is David, and the other guy next to me is Robin. We are Sin City Crypto. Well, we're missing our producer, Rocco, which obviously wish he was here right now. Rocco, we miss you. But
wow,
they could love
DJ
you.
is getting the jab left, right, uppercut. What's up, babe? If you're not subscribed to our channel, do yourself a favor, subscribe. Also,
you're getting more of us whether you subscribe or not. We're here all week.
Exactly.
This is Sin City Crypto Takeover.
Also,
baby.
guys, we just dropped our Avalanche video today. The secret to enterprise blockchain success. It's a 4-minute video. You're going to learn why we're so bullish on Avalanche and how they're changing the game and companies that are trying to move away from Web 2 and get into Web 3. Some great content in there. Make sure to check that out. Also, from our chat, if you're not subscribed to Blockchain Basement, go ahead and do so. Just subscribe everywhere. If you like it, subscribe. That'll do it for the show today. On behalf of myself, Robin, Kelly, and AJ, and BJ, the best producer at Hit Network.
Leg, too. Don't forget
and Forrest's leg. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow, same time. Until then.
You got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
Hola, Dios.